I love that.
So now everyone can see and hear the torture chamber I have dropped us all in.
Great. I've already been... I'm locked in. You're not locked in. I'm not locked in here with you. You're all locked in here with me. I got a real stinker for you. So.
Oh, I love being locked in the torture labyrinth.
Joke's on you.
Oh, fuck. Oh, hell yes, the torture labyrinth. I have dreamed of this day my whole life.
Yeah.
I get to do this with the gorge. That's the best way to go.
Yeah, we're all.
That's how you know the torture is going to be succulent.
Yeah.
We're just gonna shove each other into spike pits so that one of us can get out alive. You know what they say? Exactly. You don't have to be faster than the bear. You just have to be faster than your friend.
Yes.
And I am faster than all of you.
Well,
really?
Are you sure about that?
We're gonna find out.
We will.
When you come to the gorge torture labyrinth, you know they're gonna bust out the evil calipers.
Let's knock this. Let's get Jigsaw's little speech out of the way real quick. This is the Gorgeous Podcast where my friend Sarah and I and some others gorge ourselves in overanalyzing a topic.
The Gorge is brought to you by Patreon. That's patreon.com/thegorge, where for just $5 a month you gain access to not one, but two podcasts. I could do this part in my sleep. $5 gets you Takeout, a monthly commentary track where Ben and I decide we don't feel like doing any work, and instead we're just gonna talk over something else. And $2, only $2, gets you That's Hell You're Walking Into, a series where Ben, Oats, Saturn, and myself all trudge up to the lonely mountains of Japan and are haunted by various and sundry iterations of different horror movies. And we ogle hot men and women, and nothing bad happens. I'm sure it's fine.
And Sarah's swimsuit looks great, but she has a spear that she got from Xenos, and her noble phantasm is her thinking about Xenos to repel any possible suitors, whether or not there are any or not.
Now,
that's correct.
And now, ironically, I mean, I haven't finished the event yet, but I have not seen hide or hair of a Saw reference in this event.
You're right.
I don't know if one's going to show up in this one.
Is there... Saturn, you finished it. Is there a torture horror movie, reference?
Honestly, I don't think so, no.
Shit. What a missed opportunity.
I mean, I think it's because the torture horror movie is a fairly specific genre, and I think they generally go for more, broad plays, like zombie movie or Japanese ghost movie and things of that nature.
Correct, yeah. Anyways... we lost the thread. Yes. The point is that That's Hell You're Walking Into is a series where Ben asks me questions about Fate Stay Night, Fate Grand Order, and the extended Naziverse, and I do my damnedest to answer it. Sometimes I'm right. Usually I'm wrong. It's a lot of fun. You should come check it out. That's only $2. And also, if you kick in $2, you get the exclusive, as in I don't know when we're going to do the next episode. I Can Fix Him, a podcast where Saturn... Oats and myself complain at length about how Final Fantasy XIV decided to resolve Xenos Galvus. So that's a fun bonus.
Yeah, that'll go up soon.
The podcast where Ben is not there because he can't put up with us whiny bitches.
That's correct.
Also, I was extremely busy at the time of recording, so I just wasn't there.
You're good.
That's fair. It was extensive bitching, but it was good. Yeah. The point is, all of that and more is at patreon.com/thegorge.
Thank you to Robin the Bun, Rodsters, Palm of Power, Jathby Dratus, Steel Condor, Nihar Bot, Red Lantern Reviews, Holy Star 64, Neon Hellcat, Patrick Perez, Roddy 1/2, Saturn, Alice Marks, Shy, Magus, Jack, Liam Lane, that other one dude.
Yeah,
I was in there.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
I like to imagine that while Sarah and I are doing our intro bit, we're strung up and being poked by sticks. And we have to finish it, or else the spikes will go through us.
Yeah, say the line, Sarah. The Gorge is brought to you by Patreon. That's patreon.com/thegorge.
Say the line, Sarah. Oh, Xenos.
Yay!
So, as you have seen by the title, this is Final Fantasy XIV Saw Edition. If you remember last year, we did Transformers Saw Edition. The general idea being the four of us are locked in a room and we must torture one another by coming up with the worst possible next expansion for Final Fantasy XIV.
Great.
You have no idea how heartbreaking it is to have had to use the power of my imagination to, instead of coming up with a good version of 7.0, to come up with the worst imaginable version of 7.0. So really, y'all are getting off easy after the mental torture I've already endured.
So we will.
That's true.
The only things we have prepared for this, besides just whatever general bonus thoughts we have, is we have prepared a 30-second pitch, elevator pitch, and we have each come up with either a new playable race or 2 new playable classes for our expansion. And then...
rules question real quick. Yes. Are the 2 playable classes or new playable race included in the 30-second elevator pitch, or are they ancillary?
No, we will do a second... After the pitch, we will do another rotation with sum up our ideas for that.
Wonderful.
And then we will do a rotation of questions. Each contestant will be allowed to ask 2 questions to their fellow contestant to get some more information out of them. Mm-hmm. Just like Transformer Saw Edition, once the questions have been asked, 3 of us will break off into a group while the 4th remains silent, and those 3 will conspire to sabotage the 4th. And they will have 2 minutes to come up with a good sabotage element to make their pitch worse. After that, we'll do another round of questions. This time 1 question each. And then we'll sum up the horror that we have concocted, and 1 final sort of summation of what we threw in a pot and boiled until it became flavorless goo.
That's correct.
Once this is all done, I will put up a poll. It'll be in the episode description. After 2 weeks, the worst pitch will be forced to give the best pitch something from the Mog Station. Whatever the winner wants.
Oh, no.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a gamble element in here. Oh,
yes,
shit.
We're playing.
There's a $10 limit.
Yeah, we're not gonna fucking buy you a.
I'm not gonna make you buy me Cruise Chaser if I win. You know what I mean?
I'm putting my foot down. If I lose, if I'm the loserist of them, the winner, I will buy the winner whatever. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
The loser will give the loser the benefit of setting their own price point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one mercy we have here.
Yes. So,
okay.
Without further ado, we are going to get started with our 30-second pitches. I will set up a timer on my phone for that. And we're going to start with Saturn.
Oh, okay.
I will let you know when to go. So it'll be 3, 2, 1, and then on go, you can start talking. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Final Fantasy XIV Dark Place features the triumphant return of Yasumi Matsuno, writer of the Evilest Raids in Bosia, to the director's chair.
No.
While solving all the post-patch void stuff, we introduce some white aurosite to the mix, and suddenly the 13th is bleeding into our world. Explore a brand new part of Eorzea that combines all your favorite parts of Gridania and Alamigo. Find out that Raban has secretly been racist the whole time. You'll love our new antagonist, an extremely hot and sympathetic void sent lady getting revenge for a lifetime of discrimination, almost as much as you'll love killing her at the end of the expansion.
Time. Oh my god. Final Fantasy Dark Place.
Featuring guest writer Garth Marenghi.
Stop it.
Oh god.
I know writers who redeem Xenos, and all of them are cowards.
Jesus.
Oh god.
Okay. Next is Sara.
Oh god.
I have set you up for 30 seconds. Again, 3, 2, 1, and then on go. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Following a catastrophic experiment gone wrong with Y'shtola's attempts to bleed into or find her way back to the first, a new rift opens and drags the Warrior of Light through the void and into a world unlike anything they've ever seen. A world horrible, complicated, and deep, dark, called Tokyo. In Final Fantasy XIV Scramble, you have to find a way to restore yourself.
Fuck. Oh god.
Bad. Bad. You need a newspaper for that one.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Oats, you are next.
Okay.
So, 3, 2, 1, go.
But what do we know really of the history before the Empire erased it? A brand new story and all new adventure awaits you in the Lost World, subtitled Mobius Belt. Delving into the depths of the ruined Garlemald countryside, secrets are unveiled. First of them are not of Corvus, but from another shard? You and your friends gather what you can to solve a mystery that rewrote history. Featuring brand new content such as Xenos Ultimate, Hildebrand's Last Stand, and all new Gilgamesh stories from Fate Grand Order. Look forward to,
Time.
It's not supposed to be good, Oats. That sounds
Yeah,
good.
you described something I want to play, which is a problem.
I couldn't finish the last part, which was the knife twist, but I'll come into it when you start asking questions.
We'll get to that later.
We'll get to it.
Can anyone set up a 30-second timer for me?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Let me see. This note here.
Stop.
All right.
I got one.
Oh, you got it?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oats.
Go for it, Oats.
3, 2, 1, and go.
You've been to the edge of reality. You've crossed the barriers between worlds. You've ended wars that span generations. Now there's only one thing left to do. Final Fantasy XIV's latest expansion will take you to a long-forgotten continent in order to do battle in the greatest and oldest arena known to man, professional sports. Recruit athletes, manage your franchise, compete in matches, and bring your team to victory in Final Fantasy XIV Blitzballer.
Well, sounds like you have time to spare, but unfortunately, you've described the DLC that I really want to play.
Yeah, yet again, we've been over this. It's not supposed to be good.
It's the limited job I've always wanted.
You could at least throw in something about being racist against the Albanians.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, there's the 30-second pitches.
Yep. All right. So,
Right.
there's no time limit on this one. So just tell us a little bit of, just sum up the class as best you can. Saturn, we'll start out with you again. What do you have?
All right, I have 2 playable classes of our options. Our first is the Damsel, a new scouting class. You have the HP of a white mage, shit damage, and no utility. This is the canon class of every woman character in the DLC, including people who used to have different classes before, like Ishtola. The second class is the Cop, a fending class that uses machinist weapons. You are forced to level this class to 100 to finish the expansion. The job quest for Cop involves violently suppressing the communist revolution in Alamigo.
Oh,
Great.
no.
Ow. See, Saturn came
Saturn.
to play ball and inflict violence out the gate.
I have to stress before we continue that when I was like, hey, give me your thing so I can think about it all day, you gave me the thing, like the prompt. I then immediately went to sleep for 3 hours, woke up an hour before we started convening, and then just like, oh, I should probably think of something for this podcast.
Great.
Sarah, what do you got for us?
So first and foremost is a new scouting class called the Runner, which is based off of so it's a lot like Ninja, but like if Ninja were less complicated, which is great, but also it does even less damage than Ninja. I guess so. It's like the summoner version of a scouting class where it's just totally brainless, and it's based off of like parkour and stuff, so it's sort of dancer adjacent in that way. And then the second class is Hacker, which is a new type of healer with too many goddamn buttons, because that's the whole point. You need to be flailing nothing has a transforming button. Anything that can be done with one button press is instead done with 3. They're all different. Fuck controller players. and yeah, that's the most important part. It also, yet again, like Sage and Scholar, it also has computery aesthetics. I don't know. Healers can only be one thing, I guess.
Amazing.
Healers can only be nerds.
That's correct.
Oats, what do you got for us?
Oh. Introducing the long clamored for by all fans, unique race, the Garleans.
Again!
Oh no!
Oh no!
As it turns out, just to make things incredibly uncomfortable, they are now considered completely separate from pure and all that implies, featuring skin tones such as ashy white, mottled brown, and uncomfortably coffee.
Oh,
they also gain a unique alternate version of the Gunbreaker, wherein they use the Thancred version of the Gunbreaker, where they cannot use cartridges because they have no access to magic.
Oh god. Oh fuck,
You have to
that's
rely
true.
on somebody else. You have to rely on somebody else. Great.
Okay. I have our new tank class, the Goalie. Weapon is a blitzball. It is the first ranged tank in the game.
Ooh.
Goalies are able to interrupt the paths of certain AoEs with their various save and catch abilities, so players are encouraged to actually get involved in AoEs and take that hit in order to cut off the travel path for other players.
Why are you describing a good class? I hate this. This rules.
So long as your healer can keep up with you intentionally taking extra damage, you are built around taking as many hits as possible. The healer class is the cheerleader. Their weapon are pom-poms, and they work best when paired with another cheerleader, so they only really excel in, like, raids and, like, and trials, as long as two of them are casting their rotations in perfect sync. Even solo cheerleader needs to keep their rhythm while doing their rotation. Is failing to rotate correctly, and within an adequate amount of time, will severely reduce their effectiveness as a healer.
Great. So we have dancer healer and dancer scouting class. Wonderful.
Hey.
And a dancer tank, by all sounds of it.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh.
Everybody just likes dancer, is what it turns out.
Everyone wants to be a slut. That's just what
Everybody
it
wants
boils
to be
down
slutty. It's true.
That's how it is. Okay. So now we move on to the questions. So again, the question asker will get to ask 2 questions to each of the other contestants. Saturn, you are up.
Okay. Oats. The Garlean race having a unique version of Gunbreaker because of their lack of access to magic. This is all well and good. Can the Garleans just not play caster or healer classes, like, period, or any class that uses MP? Like, what's the deal there?
So they have they bring back the old Stormblood technical points, and everything is cast through them. It also gives you completely different stats, and unfortunately, because they can't technically cast, they're doing it entirely through their Magitech. So in order to use it effectively, you have to have Garlean-specific armor.
Oh, I see. That sounds like a lot of work for a feature that no one's going to appreciate, which means I really enjoy it. And let's see. The problem with drinking before recording this is I'm now trying to think of good questions, and it's very difficult.
I know.
So, Sarah.
Yeah, what's up?
Your new class, the runner, you mentioned it is focused on parkour mechanics, kind of in the way the dancer is based on dancing. Bard is based on playing music and having a bow and arrow, and machinist is based on being a cop, but without the legal immunity. Are you going to be introducing more parkour mechanics to the rest of the game? Because FF14 is a fairly flat game outside of an exploration zone, so are you going to be able to, like, create walls to run on?
You mean, like, as the class or out in the world?
Yeah, so as the class. Either.
Oh, I see. Yeah, there are absolutely puzzles in Shinjuku specifically that you just can't solve. Like, there's just stuff you can't get to unless you level a runner. You know? So, have fun. This is them. This is us. Excuse me. This is the genius minds at Creative Business Unit 3 finding a way to make people actually use all that scouting armor they've made.
I actually have a question, a follow-up on that real quick. I apologize for going off script immediately. Will the ninja, which is also a scouting class with an extremely cool front flip jump, be able to do any of these things?
No.
Wonderful. That's the end of my questions.
No more questions. Oh, great. Okay. So in that case, I'm going to ask.
Saturn still has questions to ask.
No, I asked two.
You
how many do I ask?
2 of each.
Oh, 2 of
God.
each.
Oh, Ben, that's a lot.
Well, okay, Sarah, you're good. You're free. I guess I'll finish with Oats then, and move on to Ben. Let me think here. So, Oats, another question about the Garleans.
Yes.
Will this be like Disco Elysium, and when I play through the campaign with a Garlean character, I can make lots of ill-advised racist remarks at NPCs that would normally be inaccessible to me?
Correct.
Great! I'm very happy with this Garlean pitch. Now, Ben.
Yes.
Blitzball. How are you going to fuck it up? Because I have to stress, we can't let this be good, because otherwise people won't want to buy more DLCs that promise to make the game better. And what you've described sounds like a really fun addition to the game. How are we going to introduce some grease into this equation?
So FF14 has prided itself on not selling anything that gives you an advantage in the base game. Right?
Well, I like where you're starting already. Continue.
Yeah.
It's been very good about that. However, because Blitzballer will not actually raise the level cap, and it actually contains no dungeons or trials, we will be able to just sell you players that are really good.
I see. Okay, second question.
Yes.
How are we going to monetize sports gambling?
There will be a new feature added to the Golden Saucer in a back room that you can sneak down into the staircase, where you can put illegal wagers on Blitzball games that are happening between different players of the game of 14.
I love this. Wonderful. Thank you so much for answering my questions.
You're still describing something good, Ben.
The problem is I love this, even though I acknowledge that it is horrible. However, I will play that video game. Anyway, I believe I've asked 2 questions of everyone now.
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay.
Sarah, you're up.
Then I guess I'm just gonna go through the lineup. Saturn.
Absolutely.
Tell me how. So you're saying there's another a shard bleeding into Eorzea? Is that it?
Yes, the 13th itself.
Oh, cool. So what does that look like?
Well, as I've described, it is bleeding into specifically like the area between Gridania and Alamigo, and it just looks like those 2 areas, but we changed all the textures to be kind of purple, but like a gray purple.
Oh, so no, this is not my actual follow-up question. So nothing's actually changed at all. There's no like change in the world state.
Well, God, no, that would take work.
Okay. And also, I suppose then, questions about your cop job class. Does this mean? I suppose when you're playing a cop, will you be able to just beat anybody, even outside of PvP zones?
That is correct. As you've seen in servers like Balmung, Uldaw can get pretty randy, and your job as the cop will be to go around and cudgel people so they stop ERPing.
Great.
Saturn, I'm sorry to tell you, but I actually still think that sounds good.
This is basically volunteering to be a GM, you say.
Great.
I don't like that one. I don't like that one, Chief.
I hope I adequately answered your questions.
You did. Well done. Oats, that means you're up next, my dear.
All right.
So we're finally going to Garlemald. There's so many angles I can take that. So does this mean that every zone is just a snow-covered hellhole, or are we doing another Stormblood thing where every area looks exactly the same?
No, we are going to the 3 different nation-states that ended up forming Garlemald proper, as well as Corvus. All of the 3 sections of Garlemald are incredibly unique and different from southern Garlemald with its heavy windstorms and hurricanes and snow, to the northern Garlemald sections, which has distinct blizzard patterns and stony mountains, and the eastern part of Garlemald, which has flat steppes and a lot of snow.
Great.
Oh god. So, in that case, another question. So we're going to Corvus as well. Is Corvus different? Is Corvus actually like?
It's part of it's part of like southern Ilsebard, like borders on Authard. There's some beautiful countryside there. It's mostly rolling plains, kind of Mediterranean Italy, with the eastern portion having a lot of jungles on the side, where you get to meet Viera proper, as that is one of the regions that they come from.
Ooh, okay.
It is. We did get the Final Fantasy XII writer to come back for that segment. They are incredibly xenophobic and refuse to interact with you. Most of the time, you will fight them as NPCs in the overworld because they don't want you near them.
Cool.
You don't get any lore off of them. Don't ask questions about that.
Great. Okay, so they're just like old beast tribes back in A Realm Reborn.
I should note that the Corvus writer, the Corvus section, has a unique. Has the Final Fantasy XII person. The portion...
Yasumimatsuno, who was busy working on my DLC, I see. Double time to come add some racism to yours, too.
In Northern Garlemald, it is instead Hikaru Sakurai from FGO Septim.
What?
No!
Amazing!
Damn it!
I have an off-script follow-up question. We know that Garahatia's clan is from Corvus. Will we be able to get some Catboy Spanakopita while we're down there?
Spanakopita!
That's a quest reward.
I have to throw that in now. I was going to say no because he just never he briefly talks about Corvus, and then you get to Corvus and there's never any follow-up, but now we have to do Spanakopita because that sounds great.
Yeah, it's like a normal Spanakopita, but it's shaped like a little cat head is kind of what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay then. Last is Ben. So Blitzballer 1 still sounds cool, even with selling players. So we really got to find a way to fuck this one up, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So is there like a new map? Is there new zones? Like, you said there's no additions of dungeons and trials and whatnot, but like, is there a new land map?
Yep, you are going to the lost forbidden continent of Xanarkand.
Okay.
And you are participating in the bustling metropolis that is wrapped entirely around Blitzball. Everything and everyone is all about Blitzball.
Okay. Then I have to ask, of course, the ultimate follow-up question. Is it going to turn out that the events of all of this DLC were actually a dream?
You know what? That's for you to decide, although we will heavily imply that none of it mattered.
Great. No further questions.
I mean, Hildebrand's there, so... How much could it have possibly mattered? Except to my heart.
It matters to me. Oh, God.
Oats?
Okay.
Oats, you're up.
Alright. This one's a toughie, because you guys have already asked the questions I was going to go to. So,
okay.
Give me a second to figure something out. So, Saturn. You said there's going to be a lot of issues with the 13th getting involved. Is the resolution for this to effectively undermine everything that we've been building towards with Final Fantasy XIV up until this point, and force a rejoining, even though that is against everything that we have been trying to, prevent in all of the plot lines up until this point.
While I can't comment on the rejoining, what I can say is that while we do acknowledge that the 7.0 story does have to be a reasonable follow-up to the events of 6.x, Yasumi Matsuno, he said he doesn't like this void shit, and he wears all the white auracite, and so he just kind of made it work. I think it's entirely possible that he will, in fact, choose to initiate a rejoining, which apparently has the... there's like a bit in there that, based on what he's shown me, where he previews the rejoined world, and it's exactly like the normal one, but everyone's about 20% more racist, and that's considered fine and normal.
You imply that Matsuno is also not just a scenario writer, but has self-inserted himself as a character. Is he supposed to be the actual main villain in 7.x content?
Well, his name is given as Ramza Senior. However, it's kind of a wandering minstrel situation where it's a character that just sort of looks like him in real life.
Further questions, piece of shit.
Oh god, fuck.
Well, Sarah, are there other wards of Tokyo that we get to visit outside of Shinjuku?
Oh no, not at all.
Then my other question, and this is an important one, is it a really shitty 2-to-1 recreation of it?
Absolutely, 100%. It is. This is a teeny tiny, because it's kind of like a transportation accident. You really, more so like yourself and the Shinjuku ward of Tokyo have both been transported into like a void zone. So you really only have the one area to interact with. And it is quite large, mind you, but because it is quite large and it's a heavily detailed city environment, I do have to warn you that it is going to run like dog shit if you don't have a PlayStation 5.
Correct.
I imagine it will run like dog shit even if you have a PlayStation 5. In fact, I hope it will. It will make people think our game is big and ambitious.
That's correct.
This is why the PS3 players are now obsolete. Or this is the version that will kick you off the PS4.
That's correct.
You cannot play this on PS4.
I actually have a follow-up question, because I know Ben's not going to ask it, so I don't feel bad about asking it to you right now. Are Jolter or Moriarty there?
No, that would make it cool, Saturn.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Well, thanks for falling for my trap. Anyway, continue, Oats.
Okay. I gotta think of something for Ben. So, my big question is, what version of Godbert are we going to get once we enter the stadium? Is he going to be like exploitative? Is he going to be some exploitative like commentator who's secretly like helping rig the games or whatnot?
No. So Godbert, we will see both iterations of Godbert. We will see the jovial, slapstick Godbert of the Hildebrand. He will be the one that will, during plot-relevant games of Blitzball, will be the announcer for them. However, as I mentioned, of the illegal gambling den in the bottom of the Golden Saucer, if Godbert catches you, he will beat the shit out of you and steal every gil you have.
That's still a cool thing. I was expecting, like, you end up being sent to the Alamegan salt mines.
I was also expecting this. Are we going to get both versions of Godbert meeting each other and interacting, like one is the altar?
What we will have is situations where each Godbert will just miss each other, and it is just enough time to imply that there is not two Godberts.
I like that. Great. I love that one. Wonderful. That one terrifies me. My second question is, what is the Blitzballer's equipment going to be like? If it is the first ranged tank, I assume it is now going to be, instead of fending, it's going to have its own category, correct? What's the general vibe of those outfits? Are they all just sports ball like outfits, or?
So it'll be their own. The cheerleader and the goalie will both be their own individual set, kind of like scouting. It is called the athlete set. And athlete sets, yes, are primarily you're starting, kind of your general basic gear will be various jerseys, elbow pads, helmets, etc., etc. You don't really start getting into the unique stuff until you start hitting like the 80-90 range, in which they are just mascot costumes.
Great.
I see.
Great. My last follow-up question. Like American baseball mascots or Japanese baseball mascots?
American.
Oh, fuck.
Unfortunately, we've seen that the tendency to ask a question that gives the person a chance to make it cool is best rebuked and made shitty instead.
That's correct. That is the name of this game, I suppose.
I can see Ben still wants to lose very badly.
Okay. Then no further questions, Your Honor.
Saturn.
Yes.
Tell me about the gear set of the damsel.
So the damsel, being a scouting class, obviously can use scouting armor, but its job artifact armor are just going to be like relatively inoffensive and feminine outfits that don't seem to have any real combat utility whatsoever. Because again, HP of white mage, shit damage, no utility. You're just sort of there. And it does in fact look the same on boys, and this is not a political statement of any kind.
Okay.
I see. That's you made that cool. Sorry, Saturn.
You answered my follow-up question, which was, are these going to be the first gender-locked classes?
Yeah, I mean, no, obviously, as you've seen in real life, there are in fact men and women cops. Anyone can be a pig. We believe that firmly at Square Enix Creative Business Unit 3. And for damsel, unfortunately, you cannot be a masculine damsel. You can only be a woman damsel or a femboy damsel. If you are playing a Rogadin or Hrothgar, it will actually forcibly change your body skeleton to the Midlander body skeleton.
Amazing!
The poor Hrothgars.
Or wear compression binder.
All those mods on 14 archive for nothing.
Second question. Let's see here. Tell me a little bit about the nature of our hometown in Dark Place that would accommodate the damsel and cop roles.
Well, we're going to what appears to be a sort of void set, but still kind of repurposed from vanilla assets, demony version of Ul'dah, where all the architecture looks a little bit more like H.R. Giger put some texture work on there, but it's still just a really weird two-part city that's kind of a pain in the ass to navigate. It is expected, because it's part of 13th, that this will be the ERP hub where freaks go to do their behaviors, which is why the damsel class is here, but also why the cop class is here.
Excellent.
I see.
Sara.
Hi.
So, scramble.
That's right.
Okay, so first question. This is real life Shinjuku, correct?
Yeah.
Does Final Fantasy XIV exist within Shinjuku?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You can walk around and see Final Fantasy XIV banners all over the place.
Excellent.
And we're not going to interrogate how that might give somebody an existential crisis. We're not gonna worry about it at all. We're just gonna talk about how quaint it is that in this world, our lives are just a game.
I'm imagining the scene very quickly, where Ishtola passes by a shop window and sees an Ishtola Dakimakura and just has this look of horror and then refuses to acknowledge that what she saw was real.
That's correct.
Let's see. Second question. Let's see. What does the hacker gear look like?
The hacker gear is, it looks exactly like what you think a hacker from like 1994 looks like. So it's a lot of cargo pants and, lots of tacky bracelets, spiky hair, goggles, too many gamer LEDs. Hackers actually use keyboards as their primary weapon. And of course, as we all know, the keyboard scene is completely fucking insane. So there are hundreds of thousands of keyboard permutations, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of stompy shoes. Oh, what else? Big glasses. You know, like your standard kind of overdone hacker attire.
So like a Digimon fan character.
Yeah, like a Digimon fan character, for sure, for sure.
Excellent. Oats!
Yeah.
What is the name of your expansion?
Oh, I already said that in the first time. Hold on.
I didn't hear it.
Okay, let me pull it up the first time.
This one doesn't count.
This one does not count, because I did mention it. It is called The Lost Worlds, subtitle Mobius Belt.
Gotcha.
Great. Final Fantasy XIV, The Lost Worlds, Mobius Belt. Fantastic.
Okay, so first real question then. Describe your first trial.
Oh. So, the idea that I had was, you were going to fight, a regional, offshoot of Ramu, who looks suspiciously like Auron from Final Fantasy X.
Oh my god!
Based!
He has, like, the really ugly-ass beard, but it is also, like, a man with one arm and a samurai sword.
Oh, that's great.
Uh-oh, this bitch is skewing cool again. Uh-oh.
Pivot!
Make it shitty! Quick!
No, it's incredibly funny that it is just this hobbly, like, skeletal old man with, like, one missing eye and one missing arm and one sword, and he's just Rambo, so he doesn't actually do anything other than just wave the sword around and makes lightning show up.
Literally, like, the platonic ideal of somebody walking towards you slowly with a sword.
Yeah.
Great.
But not like Virgil walking slowly, I mean, like...
Ancient old man.
Septuagenarian, using the sword as a cane, but there's no hilt to it, so he keeps getting stuck in there, and he gets to pull it out a little bit as he walks towards you.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay. Second question. Your initial pitch mentioned rewriting history. Can you go into detail on that?
There is the potential to utilize the concept of how Graha Tia managed to create a non-looping historical time travel. By utilizing that technique again, you do create the possibility of being able to unstuckify the Empire of Garlemald, but in doing so, you unlock the true history of where Garlemald comes from.
Ooh.
You know?
Intriguing. So you can just let the Garleans win.
You can just let the Garleans win.
We can live out all of our dearest held fantasies of letting Garlemald raise the Doman Enclave to the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. So far, I'm not hearing anything I hate.
Yeah.
That's probably... You need to turn the ship around quick and put some real dog shit in here if you don't want to be shelling out any money, Oats.
Well, that's what we are doing next. Our next round will be the sabotage round.
Yeah!
So, one of us will stay silent for 2 minutes while the other three conspire to come up with anything. The odd person out cannot object to anything that is being said.
Wonderful.
Hey.
In any way. So, Saturn, you are the first one to go mute. I will set up a 2-minute timer here.
I will hardware mute myself so that I avoid making any laughing too hard at any one suggestion.
Okay, and then 3, 2, 1, go. So.
Oh, go ahead. Good. I'm glad you had an idea, because boy, all I could say is that this is already dog shit, folks.
This is incredibly painful.
Uh-huh.
And I know Saturn mentioned it, but I really think that we really should just strip all offensive abilities from the damsel.
You're right.
The damsel should not be allowed to attack at all.
Like, no attack whatsoever.
Yes.
Yeah, like only, maybe only an auto attack, but no attacking. Like, there's no way for the damsel, despite the fact that damsel is scouting class.
Yeah, no, that's better. That is way better. Your auto attack is like really meekly like slapping them with one hand covering your face, right?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, although I will say, I do think if we're really gonna push the damsel into being like really, really bad, we have to Akira Toriyama this shit. And the level cap armor set for the damsel has to be like an apron, right?
Of course, yeah.
And a frying pan, yeah.
No, I'm going to make it even worse.
Please.
Your job trainer is one of your favorite female NPCs.
Oh, ow.
It's Moonbrita!
Yeah, we brought Moonbrita back, but we turned her into a damsel. She's the one who's teaching the damsel player character. Yeah, absolutely. Oof. Ooh. Oh, disgusting.
That's how we do it.
Yeah, 100%. I love that. Yeah, I mean, Moonbrita used to be like she had a cool warrior axe. Not anymore.
We found her in the Void Scent, but now we rescued her. She's too tired and she doesn't really want to fight anymore.
Well, no. It's not that. It's me and Urianchi finally decided to like tie the knot, and as soon as we did, I couldn't do anything more. That's all I need. I'm content. I'm fulfilled.
And that's time.
Okay.
I feel like y'all have been merciful to me during that, because I am going to part the curtain a little bit. Absolutely zero offensive actions was my first idea for Damsel, and I'm like, no, that's too free. I need to make it a little more rational.
Great.
Sarah, it is your turn to go mute.
Okay, please.
I'll set this timer again. 3, 2, 1, go.
So there's like a subplot. There has to be a subplot that implies that the world ends with you is like here in this, and then they drop it like halfway through the questline and they keep going, and it just turns out to be like the most boring Final Fantasy 15 reference because Noctis shows up. That's it.
What we need to do is we need to establish that this if 14 exists in this area in a meta sense, we need to also establish some other like Final Fantasy or Square Enix properties. We need to show Neku on a billboard and you just run into lightning because of the end of 13.
Yeah, you're right.
I will say we are missing something crucial here, which is this is FF14 Scramble. We do need to get the developers of the Muso games to come in and actually add a bespoke Muso mode.
a very rudimentary, and if Shinjuku's already chugging the frame rate no matter what, then we need to spawn way more enemies than this game can handle, like a proper Muso, like 100 enemies on the field, which the
enemies
really
are shitty.
It's
a really shitty Radiant Quest single-player duty.
Yes.
Also, they're just Garlean soldiers, but we retextured them olive green so they look like real-world military personnel.
Yes.
They look like the JDSF, yeah.
Yes, perfect. Yes, I love it. I love the idea of just a sub-Switch Muso game quality being shoved into this engine.
Also, parkour class, we get a really ill-timed EA crossover where Faith from Mirror's Edge shows up.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it would be like an 18-year-old grizzled Sora with like some stubble who's trying to teach you the 3DS mechanics, the Dream Drop Distance ones.
No, we missed the biggest one. It's the fucking bouncer.
Oh, don't make it cool! Don't ruin this for Sarah by making it cool, you fuck! God damn it! Shit! Fuck!
The banter was actually shitty, but also rules.
Y'all are trying to make Sarah lose this by putting in a bouncer tie-in.
Love the idea of a bouncer tie-in. Fantastic. That's the only. I'll tell you right now. That's the only Final Fantasy reference. There's not going to be any references to like Final Fantasy 7 or 8 or 9. There won't be like a Parasite Eve reference like you really want. There's no Kingdom Hearts references, but there are so many goddamn bouncer callbacks.
There's also a deep dungeon in that, and it's entirely just send up to Air Guy's God Bless the Ring.
Don't make it cool again.
Alright, Oats, your turn to go silent.
Yes.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh god. Where do we even start with this one?
We need to ratchet up the racism. It needs to be uncomfortable to play a Garlean. Like, you know how there's like hero supremacy in this game? You need to side-eye anyone who actually does pick a Garlean in this game.
That's right.
And there also needs to be, like, the entire plot of the DLC, obviously, is about using your alternate history powers to, prevent the Garlean Empire from falling, and there needs to be lots of opportunities for you to, like, interrogate the horrible thing which you're doing, at which your Warrior of Light just refuses to interrogate them whatsoever and says, no, I love this racist plan.
Yeah, this racist plan absolutely rules. We're going to completely obliterate every other nation on the planet, and everybody gets to fly underneath the banner of Garlemald. Yeah, 100%.
And having a connection to the Fate Grand Order franchise, obviously Natsuko Ishikawa is writing this one, and is also writing all of the Fate Grand Order crossover content, but it's like explicitly her defending her decision to say that Xenos is for sure for real dead.
Yeah, 100%. In fact, we're going to go even harder and just imply that everybody who is even mildly mentally ill deserves to die, right? Like, yeah.
One of the choices that you make in order to prevail is you do a fate that ends with you smothering Xenos in the crib.
That's correct.
Exactly. It's the baby Hitler thing, except instead of Hitler, it's like a normal boy with problems.
That's right. Yeah, and we're just going to keep on implying that like everybody who's got any kind of brain problems not only deserves to die, but definitely for sure cannot go to anime heaven.
Yes.
We're just going to keep pushing that one forward. But if you're like cool and happy and glad with your lot in life and don't feel any real despair, then you're fine. You get to chug along without ever going unmolested.
Also, even though we go to Corvus, we never see Grohatia or find out anything about the cool Corvus sword style.
There you go.
Perfect. There we go.
I have to stress, I said that the ability to go back in time is to prevent the Garlemald Empire from being started. You guys went the worst direction.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to make this shit bad. The whole point is to make it bad, Oats.
You deliberately misread the assignment to make it so much worse, and I love you all for it.
Now, I will also say, you say deliberately. I know none of us are taking notes, and I know at least 3/4 of us are drunk. So, you know.
Actually, I have been drinking. So is Oats. So is Saturn. So, yeah, it's fine.
Alright, it is my turn if anyone wants to queue up a 2-minute timer.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. I got it. 2. Alright, Ben. 3, 2, 1, go.
In this DLC, inexplicably, Godberg has traded out his normal hairstyle for the Windcaller mullet.
Oh no! What have you done?
Also, he's frequently shirtless, obviously, and he makes, regardless of player sex or interest, constantly makes passes at the player character.
Now, hold on. It sounds like you're trying to replace Godberg with lions. Like,
and that's actually going to be a plot point, because Natsuno is also working on this one, is that Lions has replaced Godber at some point. Clearly.
Oh, Jesus. So there's a political coup going on top of everything else.
That's right.
like, I feel like since this is Blitzball, we do have to like somehow bring the all bad like into the like Final Fantasy 14 fold specifically so that we can have the bad subplot, right?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
the all bad are going to be our new tribe quest for that DLC, and it's going to make everyone really uncomfortable.
That is exactly what's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah,
They
pivoting
have to,
but we do have to pivot to the sports thing for just a second, because we
Yeah,
also
yeah.
have to talk about the sports element. So you know how in Final Fantasy X, there's that one really hard blitzball game in Luca, and like the story progresses if you lose or if you win, right? You have to win in Blitzballer in order to progress the story, and it is a duty. It's not like you and your friends can just get together and do a blitzball team. You have to work with like the most dog shit AI you've ever been forced to share a video game with in order to progress the plot.
The enemy blitzball quarterback is cheating way.
Oh no, wait, you made it good, you fool! But yes, absolutely.
Fuck! Damn!
God damn it! And that's time. Ooh. See? There you go.
The idea of the fucking Elped being the Beast Tribe.
Yeah. You know.
Oh, why is this episode so racist?
Because 3 of the 4 of us, either because of our own prompting or because of other people's sabotage, have included the evilest guy as part of the creative staff of their DLC, which is the universal signifier for making something in FF14 worse.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck. Oh god. Okay. So what comes next, Ben?
What comes next is one more round of questions, one question each this time.
Oh wait, are we not going to do the intermission one where each person adds one extra detail for their thing?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we'll do that one. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay, so this one wasn't in the thing. So explain to me this next segment.
Just one more fun fact that you haven't gotten to share yet. So just one quick thing. So Saturn, whatever you have in your head that you're just like, ooh, I haven't gotten this out yet.
One second. I'm meditating on this. I'm shaping it in my mind.
You're rotating it.
Rotating the banana. Yeah, we know.
I'm rotato the banana, as you say. In the plot of this DLC, Lise rejoins the Scions and kicks Ishtola out.
Oh.
That one sunk in real slow. That one's good.
Like being stabbed in the chest.
Well, this is the plot explanation for why Ishtola becomes a damsel when she was a black mage.
Gotcha.
I see. Okay.
You're right.
I see.
I see.
Okay. Sarah, you're up.
The final trial of Final Fantasy XIV Scramble is in fact Naoki Yoshida and Yosuke Matsuda, the CEO of Square Enix.
Oh my god.
That's kind of cool, though.
If it's good enough for Nier Automata, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oats.
So there is a quest series to unlock the tribal quests, because of course there is. So for the Garlemald Beast tribe, because of course there is one. It's just Garleans, and the NPC giver is Xenos, but he is not the person who leads the Radiant Beast tribe quest. So as soon as you unlock it, he disappears.
God damn it!
Again.
God damn it!
Now, we do get to see him alive again, so despite the fact that this is a disappointing, there is an aspect of positivity in there.
That's true.
I am interested to see how he comes back after we strangle him in the crib.
That's right.
Yeah.
That'll be...
Well, that's the resolution of the tribe quest. Obviously, is when you go back in time to strangle him in the crib, like the end of Bioshock Infinite.
I see.
There we go. That's why he vanishes. You literally see him fade out of existence.
Yeah, you sing a folksy American Christian song while you drown him.
You see him fade out of existence because he has helped you put together the domino effect that will erase him from history. And he has already been erased because there is no stopping that domino now that you have started the Beast Tribe quest.
Great.
My turn. So, with the alphabet being the tribe quest, this leads into one of my ideas here. So obviously you can go around and do side quests to recruit people to your team.
Right.
One of the most difficult quests to recruit one of the best characters is in fact the Waka recruitment quest, in which you need to help him reclaim his position in the sport after he's been ostracized for heavy racism allegations.
Great.
I see, and that side quest is called Subscription. Cancelled.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Okay.
This is a wretched episode.
This is blood-soaked. Yeah, I hate it here, actually.
I like to think that my brainworms are bringing some heat to this horrible debacle.
Yeah, absolutely.
You remember the bit where you had to go around and help Matsuya sell fish?
Yeah.
Your goal in this is to go around Xanarkin and tell people, was it really that bad what he said? Was it real? Was he? He was kind of telling the truth if you think about it. Did he say anything wrong?
And everyone's still mad about it, but you tell his corporate sponsors that you've done this, and without asking you how it went, they go, "Yeah, he's probably fine to bring back on now."
Yeah.
Oh, this is making me sick to my stomach. This one's bad.
It's wretched. Oh God.
Let's ask one more round of questions.
So we get one per person
one
each.
One per
this
person
time.
each, yes. Not instead of two.
Okay.
So Saturn, you're up again.
Okay. Let's just start in the same order I've always been starting, I guess. Sara.
Hi.
This is Final Fantasy XIV, and we're going to Shinjuku. Are we going to have some kind of Shin Megami Tensei heat happening in here?
How do you mean?
Like, are we going... Because we're talking about, like, crazy cool fantasy stuff that happens in modern day Tokyo, right? Mm-hmm. Like, are we gonna have, like, especially because also you have a class called the Hacker, and Soul Hackers 2 is coming out this year. Are we going to have some kind of Monster Hunter style, like, trial or something? Or how are we going to, like, we need to make this business deal happen with Atlas, because it'll make us a lot of money.
I see.
So, like, what do you got for me?
Well, no, we will not be collaborating with Atlas, despite the fact that seems extremely easily. One, because the people at Sega are, as far as I can tell, allergic to making money in, like, a cool and reasonable way, and they instead want to do everything extremely stupid. And two, because of that, instead, we're just gonna do, like, a lot of stuff that seems, like, vaguely reminiscent of Shin Megami Tensei without ever pulling the trigger.
So like Shadowbringers is vaguely reminiscent of Fate Grand Order.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we're in the same way that Fate Grand Order also refuses to do crossovers with anybody but themselves.
Last cheating follow-up question. Are we going to have a remix fight versus Shinryu where he's called Kazuma Shinryu?
Yeah, I will give you that one. I will say that one has to happen.
The Dragon of Dojima.
Dragon of Dojima. Yeah, unfortunately, it is. It has a lot of insanely just bad and cheap mechanics. It has a lot of instant wipe mechanics. Unfortunately.
Well, yeah, he has heat moves, obviously.
Yeah, it's just bursting at the tits with heat moves that just wipe everybody unless you do things perfectly. And that one is also a plot required.
Obviously.
Yeah, of course. So,
so, Oats.
Yes.
So you mentioned that we're going to 3 areas of Garlemald, right?
Yes.
Like the 3 proper areas of Garlemald.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of these, is this a situation like in Shadowbringers, where there's different, interesting different things in each area, or is it a situation like Gridania, where all the 3 areas are basically the same and all the side quests are terrible?
It's going to be a bit more like Stormblood, where there are 3 different areas of like Doma proper, and they're all middling. Like there's some good parts in occasionally in some of them, and they all look kind of different, but they're all vaguely reminiscent of the same vibes.
Now, so you're going to make a reference to a Stormblood 3 area thing, and you're not going to make this like, say, All Amigo, where all 3 areas are functionally identical.
That is correct. It should be noted, however, that since this is still Garlemald, even though they are all different locations with different vegetation and the like, they're all still incredibly snowed in. So they do vaguely look similar at a glance.
I see. Let it be shown for the record, I gave Oats an opportunity not to leave money on the table. And I guess that means I have one last question for Ben. Real quick.
Yes, hello.
So, tell me about how blue mages can play a sport of blitzball. I am invoking my producer powers in the vein that Yoshi P would, in like how he decided that Orion J should be a main character because he likes him. I think I'm going to impose a restriction that you have to have blue mages factor into the story of your blitzball game now, as part of this question.
So, obviously, blue mages get to absorb the, or take on the powers of the goalie and the cheerleader. If a blue mage that takes on the skills of a cheerleader will be the most vote-kicked person in FF14.
Oh, you can guarantee that. Wonderful. I love that.
Because because a cheerleader's skill set is already incredibly limited by the fact that there's usually only one per game. The fact that you're going to take their moveset and cut it in half even further means you will be an absolute dog shit contributor to this trial or dungeon or what have you you're going into. There will be no reason why anyone would ever want to tolerate your horseshit.
Okay, one last quick follow-up question. Can you bring the blue mage fish vomit into the blitzball arena?
So blitzball is a separate game. However,
I see.
If it's kind of like a PvP but also solo thing. If you do want to bring your blue mage character in, you can vomit up fish into the arena.
Oh, good.
It will have no real effect on the battle besides being very gross and filling the blitzball sphere with dead fish parts.
That's wonderful, actually. Wonderful. That does it for my questions.
Great.
All right, Sarah, you're up.
Okay then. So, Saturn.
Yes, hello.
What do I even ask you? How do I ask you to make this work? Oh, Saturn, tell me a little bit more about your sympathetic female villain who are we absolutely going to murder the living shit out of at the end of this DLC.
Yeah,
and tell me what that trial looks like.
Yeah, so to start with her, she was actually born in All Amigo and worked in the salt mines that Godbert set up as like a 12-year-old girl. And then when the 13th started bleeding in, it turned her into a half void set. And she is like incredibly angry, and also because she's like half void set, extremely hot, which, is great. She has a sort of Xenos-esque height and intimidation quality to her, which is why she has to die.
Sure. Yeah,
and so when you get to her trial, which is the level 100 trial at the end of the thing, it is going to be... now, we do have to conserve resources, so she is going to be a model swap of the succubus from Hawk Manor. But we are going to give her... Like, the entire fight is just going to be you upkeeping a damage rotation through the Falls Balls mechanic from the end of Aglaia 1.
Yeah, that rules.
Great. I hate it. Fantastic. Thank you.
Absolutely, you're welcome.
Oats.
Mm-hmm.
let's see. We've been over. I know that you're going to tell us the big twist with your closing statement. So,
What?
unless you're not.
Did you think I was going to pull another Transformer Saw?
Yeah, I thought. I mean, yeah, because that sounds like you. 100%,
Also, you did say that you didn't have time to get to the knife twist in your original description.
That's
true.
correct.
That's true.
So I'm not going to. I'm not going to ask that one because I know you're waiting. So instead, what I'm going to ask is, tell me about any of the dungeons and how insufferable they are. Are we actually going to be able to do big pulls again like we could in actually good expansion Stormblood, or are we being stuck with baby pulls?
So I have two different dungeons to answer for you. So in one of them, it is technically like not a pull per se, but you know that one scene in The Hunchback of Notre Dame where you are like basically enclosed in one space and forced to twirl and just take attacks from everything around you.
Sure.
Imagine that, but you don't get to fight any of the mobs for a solid 2.5 minutes. It is just a horrible endurance test, and when you're done, you have about 45 enemies to fight.
Fantastic. What is this other dungeon you want to tell me about?
In the other one, and it's a little thing, but it does add some appeal to it. Similar to how you in the Giblet Dark, where you'll have a bunch of the NPCs from other portions of the expansion come along to assist you in aid. You will have Gaius, Maximus, and Eulus assist you throughout it as you go through Corvus and pick fights with all of these people who have reclaimed their homeland from the Garleans.
Oh, great! So, Vanaspati, but worse somehow.
Yeah, Vanaspati, but worse somehow. So,
Vanaspati, if it was also colonialist.
Vanaspati. So, the terrifying thing about that one is there is no walls, so you could pull as far as you want, right up into the boss rooms.
Wow. Well,
but
I like
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's so what you're describing to me is the best dungeon in Final Fantasy XIV where you do colonialism. I see.
Yeah.
So you're sullying a good time. I understand now. Okay. Great.
Funnest mechanics in the entire game, completely sour taste.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, perfect. Fantastic.
Now I've played Stormblood, so I've had some of the worst experience in the entire game, but also with colonialism, so I think I might be able to adapt.
Yeah. You might be able to make through it and, come out of it going... You might be able to come out of it going like, despite all of that, I had a good time.
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe the Garleans were right about conquering Corvus and displacing its native residents.
Oh no!
Who knows? It could be just like those, yeah.
Yeah, so in your DLC, we find out that the Corvosi were secretly racist the entire time or something, and that Garlemald had to conquer them so that they could prevent them from being racist.
We do know that the Corvosi, actually kicked the Garlemolds out of their homeland as they were there first. So.
Oh, I see. So this is colonization for justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, reverse. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So then that leaves Ben.
Yes.
Ben. What to ask you?
Ben.
So, how overcomplicated are the... So I guess this is a two-part question. One,
Yes. Go ahead.
are you taking your classes that you already have into Blitzball matches?
So there are two aspects of the Blitzball match itself. For one, there is the management simulator,
Sure.
which gets bonuses and your skills, your ability to manage your team is tied to your crafting class, actually.
Oh, God. Okay.
The actual participating in a match of Blitzball is dependent on your class slightly, but more so on the classes of the NPCs and other characters that you recruit to your team.
Okay then. That actually helps a lot. So then, how convoluted are the different positions that you need for the average blitzball match? How hands-on do you have to be with managing all these people, both in the management segment and also on the field?
Your ability to manage your team and off the field, is about on par with your average European sim game. Sports Manager.
Sure.
The actual blitzball matches themselves are kind of more akin to like if you were playing Madden, but every player had some sort of abstract superpower.
Okay. Are they? Sorry, this is like a little baby follow-up question. Is everybody but yourself controlled by the AI?
Yes, for the most part, yes. Whoever is not in possession of the ball at the time is controlled by an AI. And
so it's the worst AI ever.
Their skills are, like I said, their skills are determined on not only their class, but also their blitzball skill, which is a separate stat that's built in to everyone within Xanarkin that you can recruit.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you, Ben.
You're welcome.
I have also a sneaky follow-up. Because you mentioned that crafting classes are involved in the management of the game. If the game is going how I don't want and I have a Fisher, can I use the Fisher to pull someone out of the blitzball arena in order to influence the results of a match?
You cannot your crafting class is only tied to the actual management part. It is not part of the actual match playing.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yes.
Okay. I see. No further questions. So Oats, I think that means that's your turn.
That's Oats.
Okay. Ben,
yes.
Okay. So, I guess my final question for you is, and as the story wraps up and we go into post-patch content, as has been tradition for a couple of expansion packs now, there's a fun little crossover event that they do. What exactly did you have planned for the the post-season Blitzball game? Who's going to be the opposing team for this fun little crossover?
So because FF14, their acting studios and whatnot are primarily based in England, we have decided that the raids, the Alliance raids, the equivalent for Blitzballer, because again, there's no dungeons, there's no trials in this thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
The equivalent of the Alliance raids for the post-patch content will be a crossover with FIFA. And so you will be able to compete against and recruit real-world football players.
Oh, it's extremely bad. So actually, I have to ask then. So you'll be able to compete against real-world footballers, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Surely you have to buy the real-world footballers off the MOG station.
I'll get to that later.
No.
I see. No further questions.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fuck. I hate this game.
I'm going to continue this same line of questioning for both Saturn and for Sarah, but we'll do Sarah first. Sarah,
sure.
So the post-patch content.
Yes.
We're going to, let's say it's going to be a dungeon that is done here. What is the specific location and who are the specific people that we are going to be referencing for this exciting visit into possibly Shinjuku, possibly Akihabara, some part of Tokyo.
Sure. That actually, I'm really glad you asked that, Oats, because it gives me a chance to say that in the point X, the point O content, I should say, all of the dungeons are permutations of train stations and subway lines. They're different, but they are for the most part just holes in the ground, kind of like Fallout 3, where you have to walk around in subway lines and fight down there mostly.
Very copy paste. I understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. But for the post patch content, there is an alliance raid. Oh, there is an alliance raid that involves you climbing the different floors of one of the many merch shops in Akihabara. The towers
Yes,
in Akihabara. They're nothing.
The department store skyscrapers. Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
God.
You have to climb one of those and fight various and sundry things on each floor on your way up to the various bosses on every floor. That's correct. Usually, the boss is usually taking the form of figures that have come to life.
Amazing.
Great. Uncomfortable.
You're welcome.
Quick question. How many of those figurines will be aggressively horny?
All of them.
Excellent.
Oh no.
Just make the game. You just made it good. I'm sorry.
No, because my very first thought was one of them was called my immediate thought was, unfortunately, one of them being called the Hot Glue Temptress, and I cannot.
No.
Now you've put it into the ether. So Sarah gets to add that to her score.
If you collect the Hot Glue Temptress as a blue mage, you can.
No, I can't do that. I can't do that. No.
That would make the game good.
Instead of throwing fish at your opponent, you throw empty mason jars at your opponent.
Hey, why are we involving glassware in this? We can just go on Australia.
Saturn, may I ask you? Ask of you the same question? However, instead of referring to it as an alliance raid, or
can you actually just for sake of my terrible attention span, could you reiterate the question for me?
Yes. So, to reiterate the question, as part of the post-patch content, as has been custom for the last couple of times, 3 times now, there's been some fun little crossover-esque content that occurs wherein and we interact with another franchise of some sort. And I was wondering what exactly is going to be this expansion's deep dungeon content, as in its version of the Palace of the Dead. What is that going to look like, crossed over with something or other?
Well, for our Palace of the Dead, for Dark Place, we are actually doing the Fabled Atlas crossover, and you will be going to Tartarus from Persona 3. It is completely unchanged from the PS2 video game. And also, you don't actually fight any of the demons, you just fight those weird blob shadow things that roam across the ground.
Oh, no! Fuck!
Bad. No further question.
Perfect.
No more question. I'm done.
I'm done. Get me out of here. I hate this game.
I hate this place.
I'm here to win.
Saturn's here to win.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, so...
Ben, you've got questions to ask.
Saturn.
Yes.
Saturn.
That's a planet.
Saturn, describe one of the mounts that will be added with this expansion.
Well, obviously, since you have a cop, one of your classes is going to be a reskin of the FF-15 promo vehicle to be a cop car.
Excellent.
Okay.
That is, I think, the big one. The damsel also gets a mount where you are strapped to a piece of railroad track.
It looks like the mount. It looks like the bed mount, except it's just
like the bed. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh God, excellent.
Fuck.
hooray.
Sarah,
Hi.
what is the what will be the most sought after and coveted loot set or piece of gear in your expansion?
Obviously, so there is a final dungeon, of course.
Of course.
Where you are actually climbing Square Enix Tower. And as is tradition, all of the drops for the final dungeon are just dog shit accessories that nobody will ever use, right?
Right.
It's just vendor trash at that point. However, at the end of the dungeon, much in the same way that like the Shoebill minion or the Starbird minion can drop from the last dungeon of Shadowbringers and Endwalker. At the end of the last dungeon of Scramble, there is a minuscule chance that the Final Fantasy XIV Uniqlo t-shirt will drop. And
Ooh.
And everybody will, of course, be desperately farming to get one of their own, despite the fact that that t-shirt is dog shit. But that's neither here nor there.
Now, I have a follow-up question / alternate suggestion. Instead of being an equipable glamour item, could this be a fashion accessory so that since it takes up the mount slot, it can play the Christian rock vocal track from Ultima Thule the entire time you have it equipped?
Yeah.
I hate it.
That's a different drop from another dungeon, actually.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I think, or it's an extremely rare trial boss drop. So of course,
I see.
That
makes sense.
Yeah.
Oats.
Yeah, Ben.
What new additions or what kind of PvP is being added to this expansion?
So for this one, they go out and they pull out all the stops for this, and they create a 9v9 setup where you can play 3 healers, 2 DPSs, and 3 tanks.
Oh my God.
Now, what's the 9th class there?
Huh?
What's the 9th class?
You said
there?
9v9.
9v9. It's three healers, 3 DPSs, 3 tanks.
Okay, you
You
said
said 2 DPS the first time, so I'm like, what's the twist there?
Excuse me.
Okay.
So 3 DPSs, 3 tanks, 3 healers.
Okay.
It is a catastrophic, lightning fast capture the flag mode. That everybody deathmatches and never gets anything done, and there are constant, non-stop rewards that give you really shitty hats.
Oh my
The Viera can't wear.
Fuck
Yes.
you!
That the Viera still can't wear, I assume, right?
Correct.
Now, since we're talking about 9v9 PvP modes, is there any chance that when you get one of these hats, it'll have a strange particle effect on it that you might sell to someone for real money for $200 or $300?
Why the fuck would you want that? No, they're just like stupid hats. They're like, one of them is just like googly eyes that just kind of pop out, and like they don't even like have proper jiggle physics. They just kind of like move up and down when you move in like a really set, stringent pattern.
Now,
That's nice and all, but how are we going to make money off of this new hat economy that you've added into our game?
Now, Oats, I have one follow-up question. 2-forter turbine.
Oh, turbine.
Okay,
It's got to be turbine.
That's what I figured.
Why would you make a 2-4? That's a good death match. Turbine's a shithole.
You're right. I just needed to make sure that you knew the correct answer.
Yeah.
Well, the answer is that you make it 2-4 because you want it to be bad so that you win this game.
You've stumbled! Ha-ha! Oh, God.
This is an exercise in just constantly monitoring yourself so you don't accidentally suggest a cool idea instead of a bad one.
Yeah.
The problem is none of us are irony poisoned enough to actually appreciate when something is bad.
That's true. God.
The problem is we'll hear something stupid and we'll be like, that actually sounds dope though.
Yeah, unfortunately, the idea of a sports manager in Final Fantasy XIV does make me go like, oh, actually, that sounds cool.
I invite you to tell me what part of my prompt sounds cool.
Yeah, you actually are the only one here so far who has just thoroughly discovered a way to only make it bad.
That's correct.
All right, so I have given all of us one additional butcher's knife.
Okay.
Which we can now insert into each other for one last time.
I love inserting knives into each other.
You have you can make one final statement that hasn't been discussed on your pitch yet. To score some last minute points. So Saturn, you are up.
God, you're always hitting me with this cheap heat early. I'm so unprepared. Last minute addition to the pitch. Did we already do this?
No, we did one additional one. Now it is our summation, and if you want to add any details that hasn't got discussed yet, just your final pitch just to declare you as the worst one.
Okay, so I will remind you that this is the DLC where we're getting Yasumi Matsumo to write a revenge story against a beleaguered ethnic minority while revisiting all the worst parts of Gridania and All Amigo. One of your classes is useless and only for ERPers. The other one's literally a cop. Also, there's a Persona 3 crossover, and not in the good way.
All of those points.
I can't add anything. I would have to work real hard to add something uniquely bad to my pitch at this point.
So Saturn has foregone the knife I gave them and has decided to stab us with the same knives they've been using.
Well, yeah, you said it was a summation, and there's my summation. I've worked so hard to bring you this miserable pile of shit.
Sarah, you're up.
So I didn't have a chance to tell you one final thing that really does solidify that this is the worst of them all. I feel like I accidentally gave you too many cool things, so I do need to give you one last parting wave of dog shit. I know the dungeons sound bad. I accidentally made the trials sound cool. Sorry. I do need to point out, however, that this is the real world, right?
Yes.
Well, Elizin and Viera and Hrothgar don't exist in the real world. So everybody is forcibly transformed into a hero.
No!
Every single class.
I'm worried you might have stolen this from Oats' prompt.
No, I did not. I swear to God. I've had this one sitting in my back pocket, and it's everybody. It's not just a few. It's everybody gets turned into a hero for this last prompt. Like if you go into Shinjuku as a Viera and you get to be either a Highlander or a Midlander. Sorry. But also, I'm not sorry. This one is also still written by Natsuko Ishikawa. Yeah. She actually cares about Tataru and Kryl.
Not only are you not sorry, you're not Natsuko Ishikawa.
That's correct.
Actually, I will take the opportunity, by the way, because you did mention I have a knife, and I will actually go ahead and say this.
Yes, go ahead.
Our lead writer, Yasuno, he does not care about the Hrothgar, so we are not actually getting the female Hrothgar until 8.0, sorry.
Great.
They are not going to be in this DLC.
Fantastic, thank you.
All right.
Oats,
you're up.
So, I know it feels uncomfortable being surrounded by all of these Garleans and going through their history and maybe being given yet another attempt at trying to make them sympathetic and failing miserably on all fronts.
That's correct.
But listen, this is Stormblood 2, right?
Yes.
Which means that, of course, more than anything else that happens with all of these dumb fuck asshole Garleans, you do get Zeos back as a trust member, but he doesn't like being your friend by the end of it.
No!
Oh!
I mean, if he doesn't like being your friend, then you get to fight him more.
You've done it. You've come up with the worst possible way to make me personally hate this DLC. Well done. This one was a knife only for Sarah, actually.
It's true. Just for you.
Thanks.
I engraved my name in it and everything.
I hate it here.
That's what they call cheap heat.
No.
It's appealing to the judges, or
What is reverse pandering?
yeah.
I'm suggesting this specifically because it will piss someone here off extremely.
Yeah, that's correct.
It's negging to the judges.
God. Picking the judges, yeah. Oh, God. All right, Ben.
Okay, so I don't think I was entirely clear about the nature of the single player versus PvP elements of the actual Blitzball matches. So let me state this for the record here. As I mentioned, you will be able to buy players off of the MOG station. You cannot use these purchased players in the single player mode. You can use them in the PvP mode, and they are, without question, better than any character you can recruit in-game.
Great. So it is just straight up a pay to win. Yeah.
It is the most pay to win, and I don't think I was entirely clear yet. When you are gambling in the underground gambling station, it's against PvP matches. And Godbert can just steal all of your in-game gil, and you can't get it back.
Now, I will say, we are calling this pay to win, and what we should be marketing this as is realistic sports team management.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct. Oh, God. I hate this game. We've played it all of twice now, and every time we do a Saw, I'm like, I hate it here, actually. I think it sucks.
Yeah.
Why do we do this to ourselves?
This one made me kind of miserable.
Yeah.
We should do this more because I like being turned into Saturn Altar for a period of like 2 or 3 hours. Saturn that only has bad ideas that make people wish they were dead.
See, here's the thing. This is normal Oats, and every time you interact with me has been Oats Alter. I don't like being me anymore. I want to go to my new me.
Lord forgive me, but I'm about to go back to the altar me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So as I said, I will be posting a poll in the description of this episode. Everyone listening, go ahead and vote for who you think had the still managed to have the best pitch out of all of us, and then who also scrambled to the bottom of the barrel and then kept digging till they hit bedrock for the worst possible pitch.
That's correct.
And then we will tally up those votes and determine who has to buy someone something from the MOG station. Hopefully, it is not a real-life athlete, a real-life football player from England.
Well, I mean, if I come into that kind of money, I'll let you know. I'll hire a real-life football player to farm gil for you on FF14.
Just buy a Man U player. Fantastic.
Well, this was fun. I had fun.
Was it?
Maybe not.
Was it fun? Being stabbed over and over again by your friends like the Ides of March?
Yes.
I did have a little bit of fun.
Okay, well, this is why we don't work for Creative Business Unit 3. However, we do have good ideas sometimes, allegedly.
Yes.
There's some diamonds in the rough in some of the things that we said and talked about. We could figure something out,
I feel like after voting has concluded, we need to have a second version of this game where instead of trying to engineer the worst possible ideas, we try and sincerely suggest things that would be good ideas. So we can go, oh man, we're so creative and cool, they should hire us to work on video games.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. We should work something out like that. That would be fun.
We just do that every time we do Kingdom Hearts streams, honestly.
Yeah.
Because let me make this perfectly clear for the audience at home. There is no world in which if I had the power to decide what was going into the next FF14 expansion, I would let Yasumi Matsuno get anywhere near that fucking
thing. And that's a Saturn promise.
Step 1 is ensuring that that man is not even in the office whenever we are building the game.
If I get the script and I see the words "white Auracite" anywhere, I'm burning it.
He will be bodily removed from the office.
Yeah.
We will call security on his ass.
God.
All right.
Damn it! I forgot the worst part of mine. Never mind. It's too late.
I think, you know what?
You know what?
I came in after yours to add in my actual knife twist. So give us give us the last bit of your knife twist as we.
Anyways, the localization is once again by Christopher Koji Fox. Good night, everyone.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
This has been a bad night, but I hope you have a good one, listeners at home.